Hello and welcome back to IXL Tutorials. This is Mr. Duffick, and today we are going back to reflections, specifically on IXL L6, where we are performing reflections and writing down the new coordinates after the reflections. So what I'll do is I'll make a copy here. And this is very similar to L5. L5 with reflections had us actually performing the reflection and drawing out the new shape. Here, we're just going to type in the coordinates. So same concept, just different execution, I guess. So first, we'll do this problem. So it says, write the coordinates of the new vertices or points. Vertices is just points. So write the coordinates of the new points after a reflection across the x-axis. So right here, we have the x-axis. It's the horizontal line with the x next to it. So this line right here. Okay. And so when we reflect a point or a shape over a line, every pre-image point, so the point that is there first, is going to be the same distance from the line of reflection as the new point is going to be. So for instance, point F is 1, 2, 3, 4 away from our line of reflection, 4 units away. And so its image, or f prime, is going to be 4 units away as well. So 1, 2, 3, 4. That's going to be f prime. Okay, and so what this problem wants is it wants us to write down the coordinates. So our coordinate looks like it's going to be 0, comma, negative 4. So this one's just going to be 0, comma, negative 4. Okay, let's go to E. E is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 away. So we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's going to be E prime. Okay. E prime looks like we're at 0, comma, negative 5. So we're going to write 0, comma, negative 5. Okay, we'll go to C now. C is also 1, 2, 3, 4 away from the line of reflection. So we'll go 1, 2, 3, 4. Right here, this is going to be C prime. And C prime looks like it's going to be at negative 10, comma, negative 4. So we're going to type in her right, negative 10, comma, negative 4. Okay, now D is 5 away, I believe. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yep, so D prime is going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So here, D prime. And D prime looks like it's at negative 10, comma, negative 5. So we'll write in negative 10, comma, negative 5, and that's it. Okay, so we'll go back to our IXL here, and we'll type in negative 10, comma, negative 4. And we'll type in, next is negative 10 and negative 5. Okay, and for this one we have 0, comma, it was negative 5. Down here for f prime we have 0, comma, negative 4. Okay, something I want you to notice too is it's great if you want to count it out and do it that way. It's fantastic. There's also a couple of shortcuts you can use when it comes to reflections, and the shortcut you can do here is because the shape is being reflected across the x-axis specifically, all that means is we just can change the sign of the y and we've successfully reflected it. So for instance, C, we have negative 10 and 4. A reflection over the x-axis has us keep our negative 10, but we just switched the sign of our positive 4 to negative. Same thing for D, E, and F. 5 turns into negative 5, 5 turns into negative 5, and 4 turns into negative 4. So that's a general rule you can do if you are reflecting over the x-axis specifically and only the x-axis. For y, it's going to be the same except reverse. So the y is going to stay the same, but the x is going to change. So you can keep an eye out for that, but whatever you want to do, as long as you get the correct answer, is a-okay. Good. Okay. So same deal here. This is across the y-axis. So let's practice that rule. So you could either, again, do the counting and reflect over this line right here, or you can just keep the y and change the x. So 0 is just going to be 0, even though we're switching the sign, right? And 3 is going to stay the same. Okay, 0 is going to stay the same. 6 is going to stay the same. And then negative 10 is we're going to flip the sign of the x, right? So that's going to be positive 10. And then 4, which is the y coordinate, is going to stay the same. And there we go. See, that was much quicker than counting. If you, again, are able to understand and break down the rule, that's great. If not, just do the counting, and that can't pull you the wrong way unless you miscount or something. So this is a reflection over the x-axis. So we'll do the rule here real quick. The x-axis means the x is going to stay the same and the y is going to change. So we'll start here with k. So negative 3 stays the same, but negative 7 becomes positive 7. 4 stays the same, but negative 7 becomes positive 7. 4 stays the same, 0 becomes 0. Negative 3 stays the same, and 0 becomes 0 as well. Good. Okay, x-axis, so I'll skip these now that you know the rule. X would stay the same and the y changes. Jump a level to 49. Okay, so now we are going to do the reflection across the line y equals negative x. And again, there's a couple different things you can do here. First thing you can do is you can do the old counting method. As soon as I do this, okay. And remember, the line y equals negative x is the slanted line. Y equals x looks something like this. Ooh, is that more precise, right? Goes through the center and everything. That's y equals x, positive y equals positive x. Negative y equals negative x is going to look something kind of like this. It's the same line, except it's opposite. Still diagonal, but it goes through the other two quadrants of our graph. Okay, that's a little better. So you can do the same procedure here. You can do the counting. So E is going to be 1, 2 away from the line, and therefore we go 2 away in the opposite direction. So we'll go 1, 2 down. Okay, and that's going to be E prime. Okay, so if E is negative 4 and 6, E prime looks like it's going to be at negative 6, positive 4. Like that. We'll do F now. F is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Down, so we're going to move to the left then. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, this is going to be F prime. Now it looks like F prime is going to be at negative 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, negative 6, negative 1. Okay, we'll do G now. G is, you count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Which means you got to move 14 the other direction. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So all the way at the end over here. And it looks like that is going to be negative 10, negative 4. And then lastly, that was G prime. Lastly, we have H. So H is going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And then we go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Also on the edge right here. That is H prime. And that looks like H prime is at negative 10, comma, positive 1. So negative 10, comma, 1. And when we connect all the dots here, something like that, we have successfully reflected that image across the line of reflection, which is y equals negative x. Now, what you might have noticed down here is there is another pattern for y equals negative x. So whenever you are reflecting over the line y equals negative x specifically, and only this line, look what you can do. You can switch the x and the y, and then flip the signs of both the x and the y. So negative 4, comma, positive 6, you switch them, so it's 6 comma negative 4, and then you flip the signs for each. So that becomes, so 6 becomes negative 6, and negative 4 becomes positive 4. F 1, 6 is going to be negative 6, negative 1. Again, you switch the x and y and then flip the signs of both. Positive 4, positive 10 becomes negative 10, negative 4. And negative 1, positive 10 becomes negative 10, comma, positive 1. So another general rule, shortcut you can use for x or y equals a negative x. And there's a rule for y equals x as well. You just switch them without changing the signs. So we'll go over here. We'll type it in. And without even looking at what we just did, we know that we can just switch them and change the sign. So this becomes negative 6. This becomes positive 4. This becomes negative 6. This becomes negative 1. This becomes negative 10. This becomes negative 4. And this becomes negative 10. And this becomes positive 1. And there we go. Okay. So next problem. C prime is the image of the point C after a reflection across what axis? Okay, this is where the rule comes in handy, right? So what is happening here? When we reflect it, the x stays the same and the y changes, meaning that we are reflecting over the x-axis, right? Whatever axis we're reflecting over, that coordinate stays the same. So 0 stays the same and 10 is changing. So since the x-coordinate is the one that is staying the same, that means we are reflecting over the x-axis. Good. It's reflected. So we have negative 6 becoming positive 6 and the 6 staying the same. So the y coordinate is staying the same, positive 6 to positive 6, meaning we are reflecting over the y-axis. Okay, same deal there. I can't skip, so I'll just do one more. I'll do this one, and then we will probably be done. So negative 8 to negative 8 is staying the same, whereas negative 5 to positive 5 is different. So the x-coordinate staying the same, meaning we are reflecting over the x-axis. Okay, so that is where I'm going to stop it then. It might just go that way toward the end. But either way, you should know the rules. In worst case, you can look up the rules. I've already pretty much gone over them through this video, though. So that's where I'm going to end it. Stay safe, study hard, and I'll see you for the next IXL tutorial video. Goodbye.